Hi, friends. This reflection is for the fourth Sunday of Advent. So, I don't know about you, but I don't know if this was the way St. Joseph was sleeping and that inspired this sleeping St. Joseph statue, but I can assure you that this has been a devotion that Pope Francis has been promoting quite a bit since he became the 266th successor to St. Peter. Now, granted, he is loved by many, hated by a few, but I think if there's one thing we can appreciate is that he is asking, and we just had the year of St. Joseph not too long ago. And if you do not have a statue of St. Joseph, I highly encourage you to please do so. This can actually fit in the palm of my hand, as you can see. But I'm sure you can get something that's a little bigger than this that you have in your home. And while you're at it, just put, whatever is on your heart, whatever is bothering you, like underneath it before you go to bed. I can assure you the next morning it can work wonders. So get that statue of Sleeping Joseph. That was a little public service announcement, a little bit of a Christmas commercial here. So looking for last minute gifts there. There you go. All right, now let's focus. Now, the fourth Sunday of Advent. In the Gospel of Matthew, we are hearing about this account where St. Joseph is asleep, and the angel, not identified for whatever reason, sends a message to him that he's going to be the father of the descendant of David. And of course, St. Joseph is referred to as the son of David by this message. I think what we see here is there's this theme, do not be afraid. And this phrase is reiterated 365 times in the Bible, in case you lost count. As we look at this account here by St. Matthew, we are reminded that we should not be afraid of whatever God destines us. And in the gospel, we reminded the phrase from the first reading in the end from the prophet Isaiah. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall name him Emmanuel, which means God is with us. At that moment when Joseph awoke, he did as the angel of the Lord has commanded him and took his wife into his home. Now, I think if we look at it, we're like thinking to ourselves, well, what is the role of St. Joseph in all of this? The long answer is this. Well, maybe I should probably say more like the short answer. And I think it's something we can learn. St. Joseph was not afraid to take on the gauntlet that was brought about from God. St. Joseph, quiet with a humble servitude, was willing to take on the divine will from God. That's not an easy thing to do, especially considering the fact that we also have to go back a little bit here. In the first chapter of Luke, you have the account of the Annunciation. Mary didn't have all the right answers. She was troubled at first, yet with great humility, she said yes. That's a hard thing to do nowadays, isn't it? Well, Philadelphia sports fans, we do lack humility. Believe me. Sports fans, you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Now, I think there's also another thing, too. I was reading a beautiful reflection by Father Gabriel of St. Mary Magdalene, a Belgian Carmelite. And he actually had a very beautiful prayer that I wanted to share with all of you. It reads, "O dear St. Joseph, I place myself then with full confidence under your protection. Teach me to live as you did, in faith and abandonment to God. Teach me to live solely for him, by consecrating myself entirely to his service." That prayer at the end that Father Gabriel has written is so beautiful and so powerful that's really the basic summary of the Gospel of Matthew that we hear in this fourth Sunday of Advent in year A. St. Joseph, he didn't question anything. He just quietly gave his yes, and as the expression goes, the rest is history. For many of us, it probably was not going to be an easy decision to make. But let's face it, we do not have all the answers. We probably do not know what's going to happen. But I think if we place our confidence and our humble hearts to whatever God wants us to do, it will work wonders. All we need to do is consecrate ourselves to the service of God. And in this day and age, people are telling us what we should do, what we shouldn't do. We have to quiet our minds and hearts and just say, God, how can I serve you today? And we look to St. Joseph, the patron of the universal church, the foster father of Jesus, the terror of demons. The list goes on. St. Joseph, even, and one thing you notice, many of the saints in the church, maybe 9 out of 10 of them, they have sermons, they have spiritual writings, they have famous quotes. But then you have maybe a small percentage, and St. Joseph is the leader of the pack in this one, that probably didn't have much to say, but they spoke with their actions. Now, let's face it, we all have different abilities. Some of us may want to, be faithful Catholics through writing, through our humble servitude, helping the poor, helping those that are, marginalized by whatever society has thrown at them. On top of the fact, too, that you have, maybe the few and the proud, as I like to call them, that, just quietly just do what God wants them to do. Not an easy thing to do, but it does speak volume. So, friends, as we are about to navigate this final full week of Advent, and it's rare it happens, but this is the moment. This is the moment many of us has been savoring as we finish Advent strong. How can we serve God today is the question. I mean, do we have to serve them through, I think one of the things we need to do as we're about to navigate Advent, the final week of Advent, is we must be better messengers. If we've been slacking off and everything, this is our time to, I think of it as a rebound shot in basketball. But with this rebound shot, you want to make sure that ball goes through the basket, not over it. This is the rebound shot we need to make. An easy rebound, layup, whatever it is. That easy rebound in order for you to get points on the board. But in our case, that easy rebound to make sure we get the message across right. And not necessarily through our words, but also through our actions. Many of us have struggled doing this. But this is our moment to recommit. So friends, let us humbly accept God's divine will in our lives. Let us humbly give our yes, just as Mary and Joseph did, to serve God. O dear Saint Joseph, I place myself then with full confidence under your protection. Teach me to live as you did, in faith and abandonment to God. Teach me to live solely for him, by consecrating myself entirely to his service. A blessed fourth week of Advent to all of you. Finish strong. God bless.